Welcome everybody to Crisis of the Confederation, as voted on by the patrons to replace the Avatar series. So this will normally come out at a different time. I'm just releasing it at this time of the day so that it gets the traction it deserves. It gets the many eyes that it deserves. This seems like a very, very cool mod. So this particular version in the mod is a remake of a very, very old CK2 mod called Crisis of the Confederation, funnily enough. This is a new Crisis of the Confederation, available on the Steam Workshop. It works with CK2, as you can see there, 2.3.4, so just before the Holy Fury patch, just before Holy Fury, the DLC came out. So if you want to play it, roll back your game, available on the Steam Workshop, links are below, naturally. What are we going to do for this campaign then? Well, for those of you who haven't got eyes, this is CK2 in space. And generally the point of it is to build yourself a space empire, kind of like Stellaris, I'd say, in that regard, but obviously it's your more traditional CK2 style system. So we're going to play on the latest start date for absolutely no reason. I just thought I'd pick that one. There's only a couple of years difference between it anyway, and I mean, it's space, right, so how much difference can there be? This is the map that we're looking at here. It's partially based, so it's an entirely invented world by the mod maker, right, that draws a lot of influence from many, many different sci-fi properties. There's your typical Terran Confederation here, which I assume will be Earth and other such places. Avalon, New Frontier, we've got the very, very sort of outer rim, which generally tends to be a bit more turbulent, a bit more pirate-based. So, for example, up here in this sort of, the Outer Veil and the Veil Nebula, that's full of pirates. We've also got, like, these ones down here, the Expanse, pirates, the Rift, which I believe is also Neo-Feudalists. Huh. That sounds to me like a step above pirate. We've got various nations based on the sort of, based on sort of real-life analogs, right? So you've got the, if I could read that for the life of me, I'm like craning my head here. We've got Dmitry Solomonov, no prizes for guessing what he's supposed to be based on. We've got Zen of the Zin GGQ. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that, but that's, you know, I feel like it should be very self-explanatory there. What are we going to play as? Honestly, seeing as these are sort of invented nations anyway, and there's no particular storyline to be taken to my knowledge, I'm honestly going to start somewhere quite small, and build up, and make our own space empire, right? Because if this is fantasy anyway, or fantasy space, sci-fi if you will, then why don't we come up with our own nation, to go alongside all the greats? So I kind of want to play as, seeing as this is my first time playing this, and I have no experience with this mod whatsoever, I don't even know what it entails. I feel like we should probably play in one of these sort of secluded inside nebulas, so there are a few to pick from here. Now, the red lines obviously show the space lanes, right? The crossings between different provinces. And that's how you can get to provinces from other provinces, right? So inside the nebulas, generally there's only a couple of lanes in, and not many other lanes, you know, leading between the systems out to external ones, right? So, say for example this one here, this entire nebula has a lane in and a lane out. Well, or 2 lanes in and 2 lanes out, if you want to look at it like that. So, controlling the entirety of this one will allow us to tank up, sort of play a turtle strat until I get my head around, you know, the mechanics there. So I figured that's what we're going to do. We're going to start at someone small, so we've got, now if you look, there are a lot of these places that actually don't have lanes between them. What does that signify, I wonder? I actually don't know. I don't know what that means, because this one clearly connects to nothing else. Does that mean there's a special method of getting between them? I'm not entirely sure. I guess we'll find out. We're going to play as Pirate Lady Amanda of Monte Carlo. I'm going to customize her a bit though because she is 50 with no children, so I figured we need to adjust that for hopefully obvious reasons. Pirate Lord Christopher of Monte Carlo. No, I'm going to give them, obviously we're going to go for a completely custom dynasty here. Just going to randomize the face. I don't really care about the face too much. There we go. He looks suitably disheveled with the world. Perfect. Never before has a character been more representative of me. Right, we've got some, oh, that's kind of cool. Of all the weird attention to detail to put to, that is one of the weird ones there. So, look at this. They've got actually unique, sort of modernized equivalents for some of the traits here. So, Tough Soldier actually looks like a semi-modern soldier. Misguided Warrior looks like a typical sort of modern, or sci-fi admiral, I should say there. We're going to go with, man, I don't really know what's the best to go for here, as I've never played the game before. I suppose, at the end of the day, Brilliant Strategist is going to suit whatever start you pick, because military is obviously going to be relevant. Christopher Dawson. We're going to play as Christopher He, of the Great He Dynasty. No, that's not a good enough name. Let's take a look. David He. What about the Pirate Lord He? That's pretty good. I like that. Orion, Space Pirate. Now, I do have a plan for the series. That I'm going to get into when we actually start the game. Don't worry, I'm not going into this completely unprepared. Let's pick ourselves some traits then, shall we? I am going to take Stressed and Wounded. Man, we could have Stressed, Depressed, and Wounded, and maybe die in the first 10 minutes like we did with the Thrug run. Homosexual is on there. Okay. Vassal opinion -5. We're not that progressive. 3008, apparently, homosexual people still getting marginalized there. Good God, CK2, honestly. It's 3008, you can't say this anymore. Proud is interestingly not a... Proud and humble, for some reason, aren't a sin or a virtue anymore. We'll obviously take lustful. We do want some heirs. Now, I believe this one is a bit more free with heir designation, which would make sense because we're, you know, space empires. Seems a little bit backwards to be still working off of the feudal system, I suppose. Let's go with the brave pirate captain, he. And we'll also take just some basic age ones. So we'll go to cynical there. Oh man, they've added some other ones as well. So we go direct leader. Wait, it's direct leader. So that's, yeah, okay, that's that is leading the center. I just wanted to double check. You can take childhood traits. Why? Is it because are we young? I feel like I shouldn't be using the character creator to some extent. We've got agile, ambidextrous. Naturally, we'll take ambidextrous. That's free. Herbalist, imposing. So we've got some of the CK2 plus traits here as well. Clone. I like that. That sounds fun. Bisexual, heterosexual. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. I've changed my mind. This is quite clearly progressive. We are going to play as... I mean, why wouldn't you play bisexual? In the regards that it gives you access to every human. Huh? That seems fair. Alright, unjoinable. What is that? Unjoinable _ desk. I suppose we'll never know. Curious, cautious, disciplined, carefree. And I should mention this mod is still in beta and basically hasn't been updated since May of 2018. So, it might be dead, but I'm not entirely sure. I will look into that a bit more. Skeptical, you take skeptical and cynical. Fair enough. I mean, it's learning +1 opposite trait -20. Sure, why not? Pragmatic is -37. Interesting. This character sees any ideology or moral concerns as irrelevant next to their own self-interest. I don't think that's quite what pragmatic means. Intrigue +3. General opinion -10. But that's the only one I can see that would really be an issue. I'm actually going to take that because it's a -37. Direct neural interface. It's a basic neural interface implant at which all cybernetics are based. Now, shall I talk about it now, my plan? There is a method of forming your own cybernetic hive mind as per every fantasy that's ever existed ever. I would love to do that. We're starting in the... So neither of these bookmarks actually have this cybernetic collective existing. This cyborg collective existing. So I think founding that would be incredible. Now, obviously, there are a lot of bonuses to having your own collective in the sense that, you know, everyone will like you. They get +1,000 opinion of you because you're all directly linked. No rebellions. You know, higher learning because everyone's interlinked, so you get each other's experiences. Downside is every non-member of the collective will absolutely hate you, and in fact will strive to destroy you. So we need to be careful of that. Spice addict, man, they really have taken from a lot of different sci-fi properties. I'm not going to take the direct neural interface, nor am I going to take cybernetic limb. I want that to happen naturally across the course of the campaign. We can go for monarch, governor, or dictator and actually pick our government type here. I mean, it's Roll 1d2 games. We're obviously going to go with dictator. I feel like this is fine. Solitary, what does that do? Intrigue +1, learning +1, diplomacy -2, fertility -20%, or outgoing. The opposite. It's still a -1 for +20% fertility. Naturally, we're going to take that. And in fact, we've got so much age left over now, I have a feeling we could be a strong, attractive genius. Genius, strong, and attractive takes us up to 29 years of age. That seems like a good character. 21 martial, 13 diplomacy. Obviously, once we get rid of, you know, stressed, depressed, wounded, we should be fine. I'd like to give us a little bit more health if we can do so. So something like brawny, +21. Now, what other traits have they got that we could potentially get rid of that? Oh man, there's fertile as well. Shit, there's so much. Disciplined is a -12. Now, it's -10 opinion for being disciplined? Oh, okay, yeah, I kind of see the angle they're going at with that. Cautious seems very good. Learning -2, but intrigue +2 for -5 age, so I'm absolutely going to take that. I feel like the traits need a little bit of rebalancing here. Cold. Oh, as in cold personality, not as in they're just cold because it's space. Right, fair enough. General opinion -10. Yeah, maybe not. Neurotic. -1 to everything, -10 vassal opinion. I mean, that's not bad if you want to redistribute stats, but I'm not going to be doing that. I will put, for those, I don't know why I'm saying this, but for those of you still watching this is irrelevant, I will put a timestamp so you can skip all the character creation if that's not what you're interested in. But, you know, this comes with a lot of the new traits, so I kind of want to check it out a little bit. Man, I do want to go for Brawny as well, just so we don't instantly die. Takes up to 45, though. What could we take to potentially get rid of some of that age? Arbitrary, not particularly relevant. Deceitful is obviously a -2, so I will take that one. Gluttonous is a -10. this is pre-Holy Fury, so you've got to remember there's not a chance of becoming fat in this mod. So we could take Gluttonous and then go for Theologian and try and remove it all, I suppose. What else have we got that I could potentially just quickly take? PTSD seems a lot better than I have a feeling it will be. It's -20 for a -1 intrigue, -1 martial. But I imagine there's going to be some other side effect. I'm going to take it, just to give it a go. We're 23 years old. Look at our character. Like, unbelievably good. Pirate Lord, he of Monte Carlo. Look, you guys got a nice-looking coat of arms in the Igor Thrug playthrough. Also, I should say the Amazon Warrior Woman Holy Fury one. This time I'm going all out. This is mine. We'll be playing as the glorious two-headed tree bird. And when we actually flip over to the collective, I'm quite happy to change our flag again to something that sort of represents that a little bit more. Alright. Are we ready, team? Now, are the rules set up? They are not, so I don't want... Oh, Shattered Retreat defense packs are off. I think that's going to be the only difference, then. Assimilation duration? Short. No, that's a joke, based on the fact that... Moving on. Honestly, everything's fine. I don't want to mess around with it too much. I don't think China is going to be relevant in this. I think we're good. Welcome to Crusader Kings 2. You are playing as an Orion Space pirate lady. Classic. A classic pirate lady. There he is. He of Monte Carlo. There is custom interface here. Now, the only thing I noticed that was broken... Okay, well, this looks a little bit strange. But the only thing that I know that's actually broken is the plot screen is kind of out of order. You know, it doesn't look quite right there. It's like they've designed it for... You might remember when you weren't able to move around. Your special interest options 3 were always at the top. I don't remember what they were. And then you would scroll through a list beneath. I think that's what they're trying to represent with that. Anyway, we've got some decisions here, by which I mean we can open a decree menu, open a cybernetics menu. Has a cybernetics lab on OR94 Station Alpha. That sounds like something we need to do. What's our decree menu? Nothing. We haven't got any decrees yet. So I assume that's because we're a count. We can commit suicide or show employment decisions. Right. And that's just to employ your regular chancellors there, so we won't worry about that. So close this menu if we can. Hide employment decisions. There we are. Right. Okay then, team. It's regular old CK2 then. Besides that, we've got some holy sites here. We're missing 3 holy sites. It's actually just a man in what I think is a reindeer outfit. Talon and Fukuoka. But of course that's because we're pirates, right? We're still a pirate kingdom. So what does that let us do? Space pirate fleets organized in a top-down fashion, often referred to as kingdoms, and their leaders as pirate kings. So we can hold castle and patrol fleet holdings, can build castle, patrol fleet, and hospital holdings, use prestige to build patrol fleet holdings, can raid for loot. De jure effects are ignored. Interesting. And we can't grant kingdom or empires to a character with a government from a different group. Okay, very cool. Then, of course, we are Space Pirate Outlaw, giving us +3 Martial, +1 Intrigue. And there's a quote there from Captain Kaoru, I assume. I don't know who this person is. I don't know what property this is from. I've never been one for fancy debate. I prefer wordless honesty of ionized lithium plasma. Haha, very droll, Captain Kaoru. I think it means he's going to shoot someone dead. Alright, we can take up to 4 concubines. Very, very good. We lose prestige if we're at peace for too long, so basically we're playing tribal, is what I'm getting from this. From what I can understand, we're playing tribal. Alright, let's pick our focus. We're going to be a space carouser. Carousing through space. We can't. Because we have to have the trait decadent, hedonist, or drunkard. Right. We're not going to be a space... Oh, hang on, that's statecraft? Oh, we're not allowed to take those if we have those, right? Like, one of these must be true. No, what? We can only take straight statecraft if we're a decadent, hedonist, or a drunkard. Right, of course. Silly me. That's understandable. In that case... Oh, Christ. Okay, so family can get rid of stressed and depressed. So I'm going to have to go for that one again. Or we can go for philosophy, which will also flip some of these negative traits into positive traits. Now, we've got double cynical here, so it might not be a bad idea to go for philosophy anyway. Hunting can also reduce stress and depressed, or in this case, it's tactics. Man, they've changed a lot of the focuses then. Espionage, economics, business, science, philosophy, family, statecraft, strategy, tactics. Right, got it. I don't really know what to go for then, because I assume they've been changed to some extent. Let's go for that family focus, because we need an heir. That's the most important thing right now. What have we got? Convert yourself, clone yourself. Yes. Has personal wealth of 100 gold. We need to have a biogenics lab in OR94 Station Alpha. Man, this seems like a tie-in to, RimWorld, eh? It's basically exactly the same series. Alright, that's fine. And we've also got a claim on star system, Yunk? Sure. So these are supposed to represent star systems in that case. I see. Right, and then you can also see... How do we get then? So let's just raise some troops. I want to test out how the hell we're supposed to go from here to here. We can't. Oh, hang on. Carriers. Yeah, I understand. Right, that's cool. That's a cool system. That's like really genuinely quite cool. So these are seas. Or we could look at them as seas. I assume regular ships can travel between any with phase lanes. Without that, you need carriers. So for traditional CK2 purposes, pretend we're on an island. That's awesome. Okay, I really like that system. I don't know why, but that's just I think that's incredible. Why can't we? Okay, we can't put our troops down though. There we go. It's because they had troops in. Silly. Education in the Monte Carlo system now receives low funding. It seems like they've done a lot with this. I'm kind of interested. Seek a political marriage. Right now we're seeking a marriage of love, I assume. Is that just as default? Well, let's find ourselves a marriage of love. Then we're looking for our genius wife to make our eugenics program, our cybernetics eugenics program, go incredibly well. So, we've got any filters? We do not. So let's go gender, women, married, preferably not. Diplo range, preferably yes. And any that join court, don't really mind that too much. Right, find character, genius. There are none. There are no genius women. Goddamn future. Thought we'd have got equality at this point, people. Come on, it's 3008. Alright, in that case, we'll just go for women, Diplo range, preferably. There's not many, eh? Ruler, no, because I don't particularly want to marry into somebody that we might end up going to war for. I'm just looking for generally anybody that's quite good. Or a cyberneticist. That's one of the religions, cybernetics. So if we could, what is that? Machine cultist. That might also do it. Is that Himena? I don't know how you pronounce that. Often derogatory referred to as toaster worshippers, the machine cult, a strange cyberneticist sect, seem to regard the mechanical with outright religious reverence. They believe that the flesh is a physical manifestation of sin. And seek to convert as much of themselves as possible to metal. I mean, that's basically where I wanted to go with this campaign, so she seems like she could be a good wife. Now, there are also cyberneticists who are a bit more sciencey based. So I'll go through some of the religions now while we're actually on the subject of it. Let's go through. So if I can find the C is for cyberneticist. So these guys are a little bit more, so it says they're transhumanist. Cyberneticists seek to transcend the limitations of their humanity by using cybernetics to become something greater than themselves. Not necessarily religion. It's not necessarily religious. It's not necessarily like a zealotry like that other character seemed to be. But it's more like improving on humans. They don't necessarily want to become a hive mind, I would say. Or perhaps that's how it could lead to a hive mind. I feel like cyberneticist is the right route to go down just to get the whole cybernet or the whole hive mind thing unlocked. So I'm going to say women who are cyberneticists. I feel like it isn't a bad idea. C is for cyberneticists. Alright, let's see what we've got. Diplo range, yes. Oh god, there might not be any nearby. No, there aren't. Shit. C, Y, there's not. Oh god damn it. One other thing I've noticed very briefly whilst I was looking for a wife is that you get massive cultural bonuses as well. Look at this. Galleys plus 20%, intrigue plus 3, value in trade posts plus 15%. So these guys get a lot of, I would say they are very much not a sea-based nation, because we're in space, but they're very much a carrier sort of island-based nation. Seems almost perfect for them, right? So we picked a good start then relative to our start. So we've got Pirate Harbour as well, gives galleys plus 10. Outpost is 1 gold and takes a day, so I feel like we should probably build one of those, eh? That gave us nothing. This world holds only a small single settlement, barely worthy of the title. We can upgrade it, right? And then we've also got lots of different sub-buildings. Jesus, there's a lot. And then what do we actually want to build? Oh, we can only build castles as a pirate. That's understandable, I guess. Now, we do want to flip, like I said, over to a cyberneticist or a machinist religion as soon as possible. But looking through the list, there's, like, nobody. There's nobody we have the ability to marry. We've got, say, like, these characters here are courtiers, so we can't invite them with favors to our court. Oh, sorry, they're chancellors. The other available machinist or transhumanist ones, so, like, this machine cultist here, is the daughter of the Director General. So, obviously, that's an impossibility. We've got her as well, who's also the daughter of the captain. And that is basically it, because everyone else is above the age of 45. So, shit, yeah, we have a little bit of an issue here. I guess we'll just have to marry a regular person for now and then move on. So let's open our employment list. I'm going to present debutantes, something I don't ever do in I'm not going to do that. That's a silly idea. Right, let's get rid of that. All right, then I guess I'll just fucking marry whoever is around. Amanda, 50 years old. Please. I have... Wait, 7 people in my court. They're all men. Okay, right, I can't marry any of you then. Alright, let's just find anybody who will say join court, yes, who is a woman. Right, okay, here are our options. 3 of them are celibate, for fuck's sake. Of course they would be. Daniela, she'll do. Invite to court. Welcome. Are they really all seeking... Oh, seeking marriage of love. Oh, that's not celibate at all. Right. Okay, let's get them to our court, then we'll just take them as concubines. See who will give us the best child. The more chance we've got at obviously better kids, the more chance we have of getting those strong, genius, attractive kids. We've got all the congenital traits we need, so we just basically need to blanket the world with kids now. Welcome. To the Ride Charmer he. Thank you. To the Compla _ Deft Genius. Thank you, I appreciate that. To the most excellent Pirate Lord. To the glorious Pirate Lord he. Who complimented us best, because I'm going to marry that one. Who has the best stats? Might be more appropriate. She's got 10. She's got 20 intrigue. She's also temperate and patient. She is crap in every single regard. And she is dead. Yan arrived at our court and died instantly. Right, I won't be marrying them. Has traits preventing marriage. What? Oh, God. Seeking marriage of love. Oh? Right, maybe that's something to do with it? Maybe that just restricts them from marrying. Unless it's a random event. I'm not entirely sure. We take 3 concubines though, so I'm not too bothered. Shall I click seek political marriage instead? And then maybe we can... There we are. Ruler and married. Right, I see. So it's just basically a method of locking down marriages. Naturally, we don't want to marry... We could marry her. Does she not have claims on this whole thing? I'm going to click you. She was the previous ruler, but apparently she doesn't have any claims or anything, so I don't really care about her too much. Right, let's find ourselves a new wife that isn't dead. You'll do. Martina, the imbecile. Martina the imbecile. I will marry you. Invite to court. What am I doing? What a mistake. Oh, God. What? They're mobilizing. Careful, team. All right. To the comp _ deft smarty he. Thank you, I appreciate that. Arranged marriage. He, to... What? Sorry? Hang on. Arranged marriage. He, to... What? Excuse me? Oh, she's seeking a marriage of love. Well, then I guess you get to become a concubine. We've got 4 concubines. What more could we need at this stage? Who needs marrying when you've got, you know, a harem? Let's be honest. First mate, Nicholas. Arr. Benjamin. We'll go for Carlos. We'll go for Daniela. And we'll go for... I'm just basically picking the best characters. I don't really care about, you know, anything else at this point. Right. You collect taxes. You drive recruitment. Let's get ourselves some more ships. They're like little chess pieces instead. That's kind of cool. That's a nice little attention to detail there. Custom models are always quite impressive in a CK2 mod because they're a ball ache to get to work. Research military technology gives county religion converted. Military spread rate. What? Oh, they must do different things. Improve... Oh, this is strange. Research social science. That's normally the... Improve religious relations. Research hard science. So this is just an engineer. Okay. Very strange. Prove relations with. Heathens attack the chief engineer. Classic heathens attacking engineers. County religion converted or hunt apostates. We'll just have them hunt apostates then, because none of those seem particularly relevant. Alright then. Spymaster studies tech. 21% yearly. Spread propaganda. No, we can't send her anywhere, so that's a bit odd. Run foreign intelligence. Plot power increase plus 10%. Scheme does what exactly? Plot discovery. Weird. Alright, so we got some... So study tech has been swapped with spread propaganda, which just doesn't work. Right. Okay, then. I need to get used to this. This is going to be very strange. So perform statecraft only does threat decay speed. That's pointless, then. Fabricate claims, I feel like is unnecessary. We're a pirate, aren't we? So surely we can just... Oh, shit, we can't. Right, fabricate claims, then. Where should we go for first? So these are all independent, right? These are all separate. Oh, you know what? We can actually just conquest these people if we really wanted to. Let's start fabricating claims on these places. Venice? Is this a republic? Pirate kingdom? No? Okay, very strange. I thought they'd be a pirate republic, but I guess not. Okay, fair enough. We'll keep an eye on those. Those are definitely our biggest threat right now, along with these Orion colonial separatists there. They believe in the notion of a single pan-human government is inherently flawed. Right, should be allowed to seek their own futures. So I guess those guys are against the Terran Confederacy, who I guess are very sort of centralist in that regard. Where's the capital? I'm going to assume it's Earth. Sol. I know where that is. I live there. Holy shit. Earth. There we are. The home world. Tax +3. Terrestrial environment. Ecumenopolis. This is kind of like Coruscant or like a super planet. Man, they have loads of stuff here, right? Palace of Justice. I don't remember those being on Earth. The moon. Apparently communists consider that. Neo-socialists. Fair enough. Okay, they consider the moon a holy site. Of course they do. Is that a I don't know, a reference to the space race? Alright. Wow, this is gonna be kind of strange. This is gonna be weird. So we're playing in this nebula, aren't we? I suppose the first thing first should be to unite the nebulas. What is our de jure kingdom? It's the Orion Nebula. Right? Am I looking at the right one there? Yeah, it is. It's actually the de jure is the Orion Nebula. So this is actually a separate nebula, the Flame Nebula. And there's no Empire level titles there from the looks of it. What about you guys? Do you have an Empire? There's no Empire level titles around. That could be a good thing, I suppose. Alright, picking ambitions. First things first. Let's see the round prosper, become president of the Orion Nebula, get married, become famed across the stars, amass wealth. Arr. I feel like that's more appropriate. I know we're not actual pirates, okay? You need to point that out. I want to do the whole cybernetics thing, but I guess we've got to wait until we've got... What do we need then? We need a cybernetics lab. Why don't we go raiding? Why don't we build ourselves up a little bit? And why don't we build that cybernetics lab as soon as possible? Where is that? C is for cybernetics lab. I can't... Excuse me? Maybe something upgrades into it. Turret scout patrols, tunnel factory. AI course? Maybe that goes into... Nope. Pilot academy? Nope. Cybernetics lab. Looks like we can't even get them. Maybe we need to flip religion for that then. Maybe we actually do need to be one of those cyberneticists. I mean, that would make sense, right? So I'm not going to play about that too much. Outpost colony, inhabited world, right. There's no minerals on our planet, no energy, and no environment. So I assume that's just a random thing that certain planets will have. Because we can't upgrade that. Oh, we can upgrade that. Xenobiology needs to be level 2, so we can maybe like terraform it to some extent. That one says never. This one has access to solar panel but no other energy sources, right? That one also says never. So I assume 2 of them... let's see if we can find one. Let's put my theory to the test. Let's see if some have... They all have no energy. Oh, this one does. Solar energy, mineral veins. Right, cool. Okay. So certain colonies are just inherently better than others. So we actually have reason to perhaps take other planets for their resource. Just inherent resources. Can't see any nearby, though, that are relevant. Oh, this one has abundant minerals. Right. So this one should be our goal, I suppose, to start off with then. Alright, so everybody's set up. Yep, we are good. New important decisions are kind of relevant. It's for recruiting a court physician and opening decree menu, which we don't have any of. I'm going to untick all of them as important for now. Let's get ourselves the minus titles set up. That's cool. So we can make combat drones, we can make bomber wings, we can make fighter wings. I think for now, we need to wait for our levy to fully reinforce and then go and just raid for a while and obviously build ourselves up to be a bit more of a powerhouse. Are they not reinforcing, or is that just me? 308. Oh, there we go. They're reinforcing on that screen. I suppose you have to actually actively update this one then. Alright, team. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, my little bombers, led by He, of course. The Raiders of Pirate He. This seems like... Oh, we lost Trait Brave. Incredible. This seems like a good place to raid. Seeing as they're in what I can only assume is a civil war. Oh, they're... Wait, who? They're trying to subjugate this dude. He's trying to subjugate her. Why would you subjugate this person from so far away? I don't know. Anyway, we'll capitalize on this as the true pirate raiders that we are, and go and steal their gold while we wait for them to argue amongst themselves. Now, the downside is obviously they're all already seized, or sieged down, I should say. So this is only going to give us the actual ticking gold rather than anything else. Ah, okay. Were they actually subjugated? They were. Shit. So they've actually got 1, 2, 3. So they've got all of this. Look, man. Okay, that could be a problem. And maybe you can travel through the nebulas. No, you definitely can't. Hang on. Oh, you can, but you have to go through... we can go into there and via that, I assume. You can travel through the nebulas, right, but it's just a sort of... Not really a blocker, in the sense it's like mountains, but it's just like a larger sea that I imagine takes some time to... Can we see the distance between them? No, because it doesn't... Oh, distance to Milan, 101, 193. So we know the distance between that is 92, so that's actually quite significant then in that case. Fair enough. I'd like to actually be able to siege things down completely to get the most gold that we can out of it. But in the meantime, you know, these guys are weak. They've just come out of a war, so we can sit around and sort of... Oh, nice. That one we actually did. Sweet. Oh, they won't have any garrisons left for a while, eh? 4 men. Oh, this is ideal. Right, well, let's just turn up and take it all then. 34 gold. That's incredible. That's a great start. What about you, then? Do you have any men? 7? Get over there. Take them out. Excellent. What about Milan? Because that will actually have garrisons now. We can go back and actually just siege it down entirely. Holy shit, look at that. Nice. That's a good amount of gold there. 73 to start off with. We've hit everywhere we can. The rest all have full garrison size. Let's take this loot back. Build ourselves some labs or something. I feel like I really should be... yeah, you know what? Fine, we'll keep that. I feel like we really should be focusing on the cybernetic stuff, because that seems like a really good method of playing tall as well. Now, the downside is, will we lose the ability to raid? I assume that comes from being Pirate Kingdom rather than anything else. Yeah. Can raid infidel neighbors for loot. Right. And then this one is... Allows us to navigate major rivers and can raid infidel. So this our government type already allows us to raid, so we don't mind losing the religion at all in that regard. Alright, I have found ourselves a wife at long last. We have Samantha. She's apparently attractive despite how she looks. Not that there's anything wrong with the way she looks, it's just I feel like this might be lying to us a little bit. Confident. Hey, that's pretty good. Seems to manifest in everything they do. Battle opinion plus 10. That's a really good trait then. Wow, I'm kind of impressed by that. Okay, so family focus. Hopefully that's going to kick in soon. We might have ourselves a child. Maybe it's because we're leading... Maybe it's one of those mods that if you're leading troops, you get less... I don't know, less chance of... Oh, shit, was there a trade post here? Should have checked the trade map. So there is no trade routes, so to speak. Maybe you have to be... It's exclusively Merchant Republics then that can build trade posts. That would make sense, I suppose. Trade post to Monte Carlo. In that case, Merchant Republics would be very powerful because they haven't really got anyone to compete amongst besides each other. You know, normally in base game CK2, or with CK2 Plus especially, because of the trade posts, you know, allowing anybody to build on them, you generally find yourself to compete with a lot of other people. But in this, it's sort of pre-Jade Dragon in that regard. Alright, what can we build then? We just need more fleets. Fighters plus 25. Okay, fair enough. And how much were the retinues? What's our retinue cap? 0. Alright then, I will ignore that for now. That one gives transports. What are troop transports? I assume they're just galleys then. Well, shit, I just realised the time on the video. I could genuinely play this for another hour or so. This is really good. I'm really enjoying this mod. I feel like it's got a huge amount of potential. I think this could be very, very cool. Thank you for watching. I will see you all next episode. And of course, a big shout out to the insane top tier level patrons: Big Dick Timmy, Sean Thornton, Zachary Harris, Harik, Lucas Halting, Jacob Alexander Fenton, Jackson Widman, Escape, Croesus, James Ogilvy, Paul, Conspired C, Necrophilim, Michael Mullen, Heydog, Orcswolf, Josh Lindeen Tesla, Logan Thorne, Average Gamer 419, and I'm the Lizard King for their support at the insane tier levels on Patreon. Thank you all very much for this, and I hope you're all enjoying the series. And to Nathaniel Limburg, Facundo Vasquez, Felix Deal, Quet Latchley, Brandon Antoniak, Paul Master, Everqueen is Waifu, Quasar Fox, Chris, Joseph Bias, Sir Thor the Swede, Nick, Sadini, Asoro, Jack Allen, Euphrates, Jordan Campbell, Joran DeVries, Don Connie 2 and 7, Nathan Flores, and the many, many others over at Patreon as well. Thank you for your support. This is fun. This is going to be really, really cool, I think. Stay tuned.